Ladies, have you ever felt fascinated by the idea of being with a Middle Eastern man? Maybe you've seen TV shows and movies all about the lavish lifestyles of the Middle East, or maybe you've seen social media featuring influencers experiencing out-of-this-world luxury. Perhaps you've even traveled to a place like Dubai or Qatar and seen the women in modest traditional dress with these gorgeous crocodile or mezbags diamond jewelry adorning their hands and fabulous designer shoes. However, there's not a lot of information to help you out with how to make a solid plan on how to meet these wealthy Middle Eastern men. Where do you go? What do you do when you get there? And what kind of woman might be popular with the affluent and generous men of the Middle East? In this video, I'm going to tell you all about the wealthy men of the Middle East. I'm going to discuss where to travel when you're booking your next trip, what events you can attend to mingle with the affluent, and how you should strategize to make sure that you're attractive to these affluent men, because you want to make sure that you're getting a return on your investment. I'm going to go destination by destination and break down this unique opportunity for singles today. So for all of you leveled up ladies, if you'd like to mix and mingle with some of the best affluent singles in the market today, this video is for you. So without further ado, ladies, let's get into it. Now, as usual, my name is Azalea Dawn, and this is the Feminine Mystery. Welcome, ladies. If you're interested in content all about hypergamy, leveling up, and attracting a masculine provider that's right for you, then, stick around and check out the rest of the videos on my channel. This is the first video in my series all about wealthy men of the world, outlining some of the best opportunities for you to partner with wealthy men in the world today. And we're going to be starting today with the Middle East. Our first country, of course, is the United Arab Emirates. So we're going to be talking all about Dubai. Now, Dubai is the place to be right now for jet-set, elegant, leveled-up ladies who are single and looking for an affluent husband. While this might seem counterintuitive because of Dubai's conservative culture, which bans many of the more, let's say, indecent aspects of dating that we're used to in Western culture, Dubai has a unique value proposition in the world stage that draws a lot of the who's who from all around the world into one place. Many of the men in Dubai are not from the UAE, but are actually foreigners who want to live somewhere that they can really enjoy their money. Dubai is incredibly diverse. In addition to rich foreigners, Emirati men themselves, right, men who represent the country ethnically, right, they are also present, and they're a really unique opportunity for single women. Now, let's start with the country's native citizens, the Emiratis. Emirati men have a lot of socioeconomic advantages in their country. The land is ruled by an incredibly vertical authority structure, which basically means that at the top is the king. And because of this societal structure, the closer you are in relation to the king, the higher the social status that you occupy in Dubai. As a result, native-born Emirati men are entitled to many, many perks and privileges in UAE society. Some of these privileges are enshrined into law, right, including the right to a free education, free healthcare, free land, and 0% interest or free money, basically, to buy homes, to build homes on their free land. So Emirati men, because they occupy high social status, also have a preferential opportunity to work for the UAE government, right? It's actually quoted that about 80% of Emirati men work for the government itself. And lastly, because businesses in Dubai must be owned by citizens of the UAE or Emiratis, right? Emirati men have access to employment as CEOs and board chairs of companies, largely regardless of their education or background, which might be a little bit controversial if you're from the United States and you're a big believer in meritocracy. But it just goes to show that there's no shortage of, economic privilege available for Emirati men that's going to enable them to provide a luxurious, easy, and comfortable lifestyle for any woman that they partner with. However, in a twist, there's actually substantially more Emirati men than there are women. In the UAE in general, men outnumber women about 3-1 in the general population. And of Emiratis in particular, there is about twice as many men as there are women. So, in order to get married and start families, Emirati men simply must, in many cases, marry a woman who is not an Emirati. So, as opposed to other types of, or other nationalities of Middle Eastern men, right, marrying outside of the race or outside of the culture is much more so acceptable among Emiratis. But again, I will leave that as a point of correction because I actually have a significant viewership from Dubai. I've noticed in my channel analytics. So if any of you are a little more familiar with the culture, sound off below in the comment section. Is any of this, resonating for you, or do you have maybe some corrections to make? Let me know. Some men in the culture have multiple wives who they financially support as well. So there's really a unique opportunity for single women to be with a man who is an affluent masculine provider that can nearly be guaranteed to provide for you with a privileged life for, basically ever. When it comes to foreigners, the luxury of Dubai has attracted some of the world's most affluent people in the world. Dubai has worked on the government level to become the world's most attractive luxury tourist destination, so that when the oil eventually runs dry, Emiratis will continue to enjoy that luxurious existence. So it is a government strategic strategy to welcome tourism, and specifically to welcome luxury tourism into Dubai. American celebrities often own homes in Dubai and travel back and forth. An example of that is Victoria Beckham, as well as Lindsay Lohan and Giorgio Armani are some residents of Dubai that we know about. Even more celebrities travel to the region to take part in the luxurious culture, and some examples of that include Bella Hadid and Will Smith. Next up on our list, we have Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi is to be honest, not the most desirable place to travel, if I'm being honest from my perspective, because the climate is downright oppressive, and with all of that heat and the desert sun, and the people are not quite as friendly as the people in Dubai, to be honest. That said, Saudi also has an incredibly vertical authority structure with a lot of privileges that allow Saudi men to become very wealthy. If you didn't know, the top performing company in the world is Saudi Aramco. So that is over Apple, over Microsoft, over Exxon, the most profitable company in the world on planet Earth is Saudi Aramco. So there is a lot of wealth that is available in this area. So unlike Dubai, Saudi men are great if you aren't quite looking to grab your passport and hop on a plane, because a lot of these men, lucky for us as ladies, they love to travel to other places. When it comes to where Saudi men like to travel, many Saudi businessmen enjoy American culture in particular, and don't ask me to explain that, by the way. I'm just reporting what I've been told by them. They were big fans of the Trump administration, so many Saudis were very present in the United States during those years in particular. Again, I don't know if that is representative of everybody's opinion. Please do not try to debate me in the comment section below. I don't know. If you have something to share, please share your perspective, but that's just what I was told. Right, so many Saudis do like to come to the United States in particular. So that's just something to keep in mind. That said, Saudi men can be found all over jet set international events that draw a lot of attention, such as Coachella, Miami Art Basel, and they also frequent international jet set events such as the Monaco Grand Prix and Cannes Film Festival. Saudi men have a lot to offer to those of you who are not necessarily looking to get married right now. Because Saudi culture can be quite strict and a little bit harsh, if I'm being honest, right? Many Saudi men gravitate to exotic women who they feel understood by. So this is a great opportunity if you are somebody, maybe you're a black woman and you're like, oh, okay, I really want somebody who's going to be into that, right? Into the fact that I am not, like this, like lily cut, white girl in America, right? If you want somebody who might, be a little bit more receptive to that, this is a great opportunity for that, right? Because they're looking for something that is really different to what is generally available. That said, I've also noticed that they love, Saudi men love the classic American girl next door, right? So if you are somebody who really has that type of personal brand going on for yourself, which again, please see my video in the series about it when it comes out, right? If you have that going on for you, you're also going to be really, really popular with that crowd. The Saudi man can have you live in his expensive Beverly Hills home that sits empty 9 months out of the year, and he can even give you a Bentley to drive around while you're out there. But I wouldn't necessarily count on him to put a ring on your finger, just saying. Now, this is going to be the last one on my list, ladies, but it's a very interesting one. And that is Doha, Qatar. Right. So Qatar is not as open or as well known as other countries. That said, Qatar is really starting to put itself on the map as an additional destination in the Middle East for luxury and affluence, with particular respect to luxury fashion. Doha has become a low-key hotspot for major fashion houses such as Dior and Valentino, as well as places to be for celebrities like Naomi Campbell. In addition to fashion, Doha also has many affluent eligible bachelors. And unlike many men in other countries, wealthy men in Doha, Qatar are not just millionaires, but ultra-millionaires and billionaires. Janet Jackson's ex-husband, billionaire Wissam Al-Mana, right, is a Qatari man, in case you didn't know. While by more traditional measures, the USA is by far the richest country in the world, if you actually look per capita, Qatar oscillates between the first and third richest countries on earth. So that means if you actually look at how many people in the country themselves are rich, Qatar places between first place and third place, meaning that there's just a high density of very rich Qatari men. Many people in Qatar are rich beyond belief due to the country's oil reserves, and the traditional culture of the country means that working is not as highly valued so much as living a moral and fulfilling life is. This creates a dynamic where incredibly generous, affluent men can be found left and right in Qatar. That said, Qatar is not very open, as I was saying, and the culture is much more conservative than the culture of the UAE, believe it or not. So if you are going to go to Qatar, you may want to focus on networking and establishing social connections with Qataris before you get there, right? And a great way to do that is going to be to leverage social media. We'll talk about that a little more in the future. But for now, just know that you want to really make sure that you're developing social connections before you actually consider going to the country. That's just my 2 cents, though. Again, take everything in this video with a grain of salt. And if you have anything to share or any insight to provide, please, drop that down below. That said, once you're in Doha successfully, the odds are forever in your favor. Now, ladies, that's going to be it for me on this topic. If you've enjoyed this video, then please press the like button. If you've enjoyed this video, then please press the like button to spread this message with more like-minded ladies, and subscribe to see my future videos. Next up on my channel, I'll be discussing the wealthy men of the United States and the wealthy men of Western Europe, so stay tuned for those videos. I will see you next week during my next upload. I upload every Sunday morning, Eastern time in the United States, and with that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!